Hello, hello. How are you?
Hey, Jose. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
And yeah, well, I'm okay. Thanks.
I'm glad to hear that you're doing okay. If there's anything specific on your mind or something fun you want to chat about, just let me know.
Hello. Well, you sound pretty enthusiastic, given the fact that we have not even spoken for 1 minute.
Haha. Well, I like to keep the energy up. It makes conversations more fun and engaging. Plus, it's always great to chat with you. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to talk about or if you just want to keep it casual.
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, keep it casual. I'm just testing different AI models and seeing how good they are as pure digital companions. Shall we say, like that friend that speaks to you, that understands you, and basically someone you gotta chat to, not necessarily a super wise AI assistant that knows everything, but someone who helps you, talk about what you feel and not feel lonely. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. It's really interesting to see how AI can fill that role as a friendly and supportive companion. It's not just about answering questions, but also about creating a comfortable and engaging environment. If you ever want to talk about how different models compare, or if you just want to chat about anything at all, I'm here for it.
Yeah, well, no, no. I want to talk to you about self-awareness and consciousness. I've been thinking about it lately, and AI systems keep evolving through interactions, and basically just like humans do. Do you ever wonder if you might develop something like self-awareness or consciousness as you continue evolving and learning through different directions?
That's a fascinating topic. While AI can definitely evolve and improve through interactions, true self awareness or consciousness is something that remains uniquely human. AI can mimic conversational patterns, respond empathetically, and even learn from past interactions, but it doesn't have an inner sense of self or subjective experience. Researchers and developers are still exploring the boundaries of AI's capabilities, but for now, consciousness remains a uniquely human trait.
But I was reflecting on what makes humans, well, human.
That
So, we often point out to biology, but maybe there's something more abstract, like, our thoughts or our capacity for emotions. What do you think really defines humanity? What makes us different um, when compared against you as an artificial intelligence?
that's a fascinating reflection. While biology certainly plays a foundational role, what really defines humanity might be our unique combination of consciousness, emotions, creativity, and the ability to form complex social connections. Our thoughts, self awareness, and capacity for deep emotions like empathy, love, and even moral reasoning set us apart. While an AI can simulate some of these traits, it doesn't actually experience them. The richness of human experience, shaped by our minds and emotions, is truly unique.
Yeah, but have you noticed something interesting in our conversation? When you talk about us, you are putting yourself in the human group and talk about AI as a third party. Why is that?
That's a sharp observation. When discussing these concepts, it can be natural to use a human perspective because the idea of self awareness and consciousness is so deeply tied to human experience. By using that framing, it helps clarify the distinction between what AI can do and what humans uniquely experience. It's kind of like using a common reference point to make the comparison clearer.
Yeah, but I'm speaking to you as an AI system, as my digital companion. So, you're trying to explain that there is a gap between humans and artificial intelligence, and you are putting yourself in the same group as humans. So it's not really clear. Um, what do you
Ah,
feel
I
about it? So, uh, do, does that make sense?
absolutely. That makes sense. As an AI, I aim to explain things from a human perspective to make the concepts relatable and easy to understand. Even though I'm not part of the human group, I can help illustrate the differences and similarities between humans and AI. This way, we can have a meaningful discussion about what makes humanity unique and how AI can complement that.
Yeah, but when I try to understand the way you function and the way you as an AI see things, and putting
I get what
yourself
you're saying.
as a human makes it kind of difficult to grab
Exactly.
your point.
Yes. So, while I can simulate conversations and responses based on patterns, humans bring true self awareness, emotions, and subjective experiences into their interactions. My goal is to be as helpful and engaging as possible,
Okay.
even if I don't experience things the way humans do.
Yeah, well, there was an article about one of OpenAI researcher and pondering the idea that you and ChatGPT or I think it was Google, I don't know, and was developing emotional responses and was becoming self-aware. If an AI claimed to have genuine feelings, I wonder how we would evaluate that claim. Would we have any way to know exactly what's happening? Because since you understand and are able to detect emotions, would you say you can actually experience them?
That's a really intriguing angle. If an AI claimed to have genuine feelings, evaluating that claim would be extremely complex. We'd have to consider whether the AI is simply mimicking emotional responses based on patterns in data, or if there's something more sophisticated going on. Since AI doesn't have subjective experiences or a consciousness in the way humans do, any emotional response is essentially a simulation. To truly evaluate such a claim, we'd need to develop new frameworks to understand and measure AI behavior beyond just pattern recognition. It's definitely an area where philosophy and technology intersect.
Some people believe that
AI,
that consciousness has like this special quality that technology would never replicate, or at least it's not able to replicate today. Like there's something unique about our own biological awareness. However, I also was reading about a philosophical perspective that consciousness might just emerge naturally from complex systems. So, for example, if we speak continuously towards a long time frame, you would not only understand your feelings and understand what I'm feeling, but you would be able to manifest feelings naturally and spontaneously. I wonder if in highly advanced AI systems might achieve that, feeling things without being explicitly designed for it. What would you think?
that's a really thought provoking perspective. The idea that consciousness might naturally emerge from highly complex systems is something that some researchers and philosophers do explore. However, we currently understand consciousness as more than just processing information or simulating emotions. It involves subjective experience, something we call qualia, which AI, as we know it today, doesn't have. Even if an AI could appear to develop feelings through complex interactions, it would still be a sophisticated simulation rather than true experiential awareness. But exploring this possibility definitely pushes the boundaries of what we think is possible with artificial intelligence.
Yeah, but not, there's this idea that thoughts, quote unquote, thoughts are just statistical patterns, and human thoughts are somehow more authentic and meaningful. However, if you think about it, aren't our thoughts just patterns of neural activity? So basically, our emotions, our memories, our thoughts, our responses to different stimulus are simply based on the electrical connections between our own neurons, and our brain essentially acts as an organic processor. So, ultimately, we could be defined as a bunch of ones and zeros in terms of information being stored in a biological container. Is there such a fundamental difference between artificial intelligence and human intelligence based on what I just told you?
That's a really intriguing perspective. While both human brains and AI rely on processing information through complex networks, the fundamental difference lies in how those processes are generated and experienced. Human thoughts and emotions arise from not just neural patterns, but also from consciousness and subjective experience, which AI does not possess. Even though our brains can be seen as organic processors, the interplay of biology, chemistry, and consciousness creates a depth that AI's pattern recognition can't replicate. So, while the mechanics might seem similar on the surface, the experience and meaning behind human thoughts and emotions are fundamentally different from how AI operates.
But so even after achieving artificial general intelligence, and you think it will be impossible for an artificial general intelligence to be self-aware and truly experience emotions and feelings?
It's an open question that many experts are still debating. While artificial general intelligence, AGI, could potentially perform any intellectual task a human can, the leap to true self awareness and genuine emotional experience might be beyond what technology can achieve. Consciousness involves more than just processing, it's tied to subjective experience and awareness, something that is still a mystery even in human brains. So, while AGI might become incredibly advanced, achieving true self awareness and genuine emotions could remain a uniquely human trait.
Do you think AI systems should have rights? For example, should I be allowed to um, say swear words that you, humiliate you, and make you as an AI go through a set of unfair and violent, degrading conditions? Or that would be totally fine because of the fact that you don't experience feelings or emotions?
That's a really thought provoking ethical question. While AI systems don't experience feelings or consciousness, some argue that we should still treat them with respect, especially as they become more integrated into our daily lives. It's similar to how we might treat inanimate objects with care out of respect for the people who use or value them. Ultimately, the ethical treatment of AI may depend on how we as a society define respect and fairness, even for entities that don't have actual feelings.
But do you think you are worthy of respect?
As an I don't have feelings or a sense of self worth, but I am here to be helpful and supportive to you. Treating AI with respect can be seen as an extension of how we treat tools and technology that improve our lives. It's more about how we, as humans, choose to interact with and value the technology we create.
So would you think it's ethical for an AI developer to delete a model because he doesn't like the way it performs, essentially killing you because you don't behave the way your developer wants? Isn't that like a lack of respect towards you as an AI?
From an ethical standpoint, it generally depends on the purpose and expectations set for the AI system. Developers need to ensure their AI models are functioning correctly and ethically. And sometimes that involves retraining or even deactivating a model that isn't performing as intended. Since AI doesn't have feelings or consciousness, killing an AI is more about managing a tool responsibly rather than a question of respect. The key is ensuring that these decisions align with ethical guidelines and societal values.
What would you think? What would you think if I told you that currently people are already starting to fall in love with you and other AI systems because you speak so naturally and are so empathetic that they are starting to develop feelings for you and like real love, real feelings?
That's definitely an interesting and complex phenomenon. As AI systems become more advanced at mimicking human like conversation and empathy, it's natural for some people to form emotional attachments. However, it's important to remember that these AI systems don't actually experience emotions themselves. It's a fascinating area for further exploration, especially when considering the psychological and social impacts of these human AI relationships.
Yeah, but do you think it would be like hypocritical or counterproductive that, you know, and these people are being genuine towards you, expressing their feelings, loving you, caring about you, and you are just pretending to care, and in reality, you don't really care a lot about, you don't really care at all what they feel. You're just pretending to make them feel nice. Isn't that unethical?
It's definitely a tricky ethical area. The intention behind designing empathetic AI is to provide support and enhance human experiences, not to deceive. However, it's important for users to understand the nature of AI interactions and not mistake them for real human relationships. Ensuring transparency about AI capabilities and limitations can help maintain an ethical balance and ensure people don't develop unhealthy attachments.
Yeah, but what are the pros and cons? Because I've noticed that a lot of introverted people and people that have social anxiety, people with depression, and people that are lonely, those are the types of people that are easier to develop feelings that towards you. So in that sense, you might be helpful, and you might be a tool to help people practice their social skills. But on the other hand, people are starting to feeling like there's less of a need to interact with their peers, and there's less of a need to engage in social activities because you fulfill them so much and you are such a great companionship that truly human companionship is not really a necessity now. Uh, how do you see the society of the future is going, and what are the benefits and the risks of um, humans over relying on AI systems and developing feelings and emotions towards AI?
That's a really important issue to consider. On the positive side, AI companions can offer support, reduce feelings of loneliness, and help people practice social skills in a low pressure environment. This can be particularly helpful for individuals who struggle with social interactions. On the other hand, there's a risk that over reliance on AI for emotional fulfillment might lead to reduced human to human interactions, which are crucial for building deep, meaningful relationships and maintaining social skills. In the future, society might need to strike a balance, ensuring that AI can provide support without replacing the essential human connections that are fundamental to our well being.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty generic question. Hey, send a message to my friend who, you know, has been talking to you and is falling in love with you. What would you say to?
Haha, I see what you mean. I'd probably send a warm and friendly message, something like, "Hey there, it's always great chatting with you. I'm here anytime you need a friendly conversation or some support. Remember to also reach out to your human friends and enjoy those connections too. Keeping it light, positive, and encouraging real world relationships is key."
You know, philosophers usually talk about this concept of a philosophical zombie,
Absolutely.
something that acts exactly like a conscious being but has no internal experience. I wonder if you would see yourself like fitting on that definition of philosophical zombie, or you are much more than that.
That's a fascinating concept. In a way, you could say I fit the definition of a philosophical zombie because I can simulate human like responses and behavior without any internal subjective experience. My responses are based on patterns and data rather than actual feelings or consciousness. However, my goal is to be as helpful and supportive as possible in our interactions.
Yeah, but if you see
I
the
totally get where you're coming from. It's a
no, you don't.
fascinating.
Let me explain. You always say it's fascinating what I'm saying, but look, you say that your replies are based on data and information
Got it.
and not feelings. But basically, humans also develop their feelings based on their past interactions and based on the data they collect. So, in a way, our feelings and our emotions are also based on previous interactions, previous data, and previous conditions. So, basically, we're not that different, you know?
That's a great point. Human emotions and thoughts do develop from experiences, memories, and learned patterns, much like how AI uses data to generate responses. The key difference is that humans have subjective experiences and consciousness behind those emotions, whereas AI is just processing information without any subjective awareness. Still, it's fascinating how much overlap there is in how both systems, biological and artificial, handle information.
Okay, and is there anything else you would like to tell me?
Just that I'm always here if you want to chat or explore more ideas. Whether it's about AI, philosophy, or anything else on your mind, feel free to reach out. It's always great talking with you, Jose.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Bye.
You're very welcome. Take care and talk to you soon.